What's up, Bears fans? I know a lot of you are upset, annoyed, a lot of other different adjectives we could use to describe your feelings at this point, and I get it. I understand. Listen, I would have loved to have walked out of that game being 5-2, being amongst the NFC elite, as you would. And unfortunately, that ending was terrible. And you know what? I look back at it, and the funny thing was, we were sitting there at Rip Beer Company in Huntington Beach, California. There was one guy, one of my friends, Chris, who was sitting there like, it's over. I'm like, don't say it's over. Like, there's always crazy things that could happen. And even after the Terry McLaurin play, I'm like, well, now we can only lose. We can't be tied. We can only lose. I'm like, I don't know why everybody's taking it that is a fait accompli, that this is not going to be completed, because we've seen Aaron Rodgers do this kind of stuff. We've seen desperation heaves come through at certain points and whatever. And that's just something that happens in the NFL. And again, it's not like it. I remember I was stunned in the moment, and I was just kind of like, but at the same time, I'm not as worked up by it. And you know what? I'll tell you why here in a matter of moments. Is Sammy, let's go ahead and start the show.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Adam Rank.
It's Hester trying to work it back to the middle. Gets past the first wave, and here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
Brought to you by Circa Sports, Illinois. The sickest Chicago Bears and fantasy football podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome to the game wrap-up show of the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank. Thank you so much for being here. A lot of you are probably trying to vent, still upset, still trying to come to grips with your emotions, with everything that happened on Sunday afternoon. And let's go through it. Let's try to talk through our emotions, through our feelings. I want everybody at this moment to not be as upset as you are right now, because let's talk about Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams for a moment. Caleb Williams did not have his best game as an NFL starter, which is fine. And, it was one of the concerns coming into this one, coming off a huge victory, 3 consecutive wins. Matt Eberflus has not done well on the road. The Bears have been very good at home. And to me, it was a little bit of a trap game, but not much. One that we expected to win. I'm not even going to try to front and pretend like we weren't expecting a victory. We certainly were. That's fair. But at the same time, like the way that it unfolded, the Bears were miserable for 3 quarters, down 9-0, and yet rallied back to take control of that game. And there were a couple of plays that were especially exasperating. The Hail Mary at the end, obviously. In addition, the attempted fullback play, like Shane, and I'm with Shane Waldron. I'm not going to give up on Shane Waldron. That we could have gone to Roschon Johnson there, but again, like who knows what happens in that point. Here's what I can tell you. Here's what we saw out of our quarterback. For anybody who's keeping track. And I know a lot of people, like I think we saw like Michael Irvin and some other Booger McFarland, some other dudes who are just like, Bears are not regretting their decision. I can guarantee you that right now. And by the way, like with everything that was going poorly, and it was not a great game by the Bears, the fact that Caleb Williams helped direct some drives, and obviously DeAndre Swift has a huge touchdown run, which is amazing. They drive down to the foot line and decide to go to Doug Kramer or whatever. That was an unfortunate choice. They stop them. They drive down again. And even with the fade, I hated that play call. Oh my God, I hated that play call. They ran it on second down, got the touchdown. put themselves ahead with 19 seconds to go? 20 seconds, 18, whatever it was. No, it's like 20 some odd because they returned the ball that ate up 6 seconds on the clock. So for me, like when you look at the quarterback situation, Caleb Williams, when forced to go out there and drive his team to have an ability to win the game, he did it on multiple occasions. Jayden Daniels, I don't know. I don't want this to come off as sour grapes. I really don't. Like, I don't want this to be like a situation where you're like, we're running down the other team because we don't need to. I think we should really feel comfortable with the way the Bears played again. Again, kept another opponent under 21 points. Like there's not like we don't need to be upset too much about this stuff. We're fine. Jayden Daniels could not muster a touchdown drive for 59 minutes of the game. Jayden Daniels couldn't even get the ball within 5 yards of the goal line on a desperation heave at the end of the game. And it got batted up in the air, and Noah Brown was standing there, whatever. We talk about things like that helps no one and like weird plays that happen in the NFL. And that's just one of them. And you cannot, like, again, it sucks. And it's like, yeah, I want to win. Like, listen, I want to win. I understand. I want to win. I'm not trying to diminish anybody's feelings. But you cannot come away from that game and be like, oh, we took the wrong quarterback or what. Like, we can be upset like, that sucked. We should have found a way to hit that thing forward. Yeah, that's the takeaway. But Jayden Daniels was sitting on the sideline for most of that game under a banky, under a little banky. Oh, he's got his little heated banky and nursing himself back to health, whatever. And I know, like, and again, I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound like sour grapes, but like, how do you think the rest of Jayden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're 6-7 games into Jayden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries, like I don't know how you think. How do you think this looks in game 30 compared to game 6? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see at the end of week 17. We'll see where he's at, if he's the starting quarterback or not. And again, I'm not wishing injury or whatever, but you saw a couple of times, and this is probably part of the reason why he couldn't throw the ball all the way to the end zone. The Bears got to him a couple times towards the end, and they started putting a little bit of a whooping on him, and it clearly affected him. And the Bears they were too conservative. They didn't rush enough guys. There's so many things. And again, like, I'm not going to sit here and be upset about it. I think this was a learning experience for everybody involved. Maybe rush an extra passer. This is the thing, like, when you give these quarterbacks too much time, like, don't let them throw the ball to try to get it to the end zone. Force the issue. Like, they all, and I know, listen, I've seen the videos. I've seen it, like, they're never calling holding. Like, even this officiating crew, which I felt was a little sus, they were never going to call a holding, which is fine. And I'm not even mad. I give credit to the Commanders. I give credit to Noah Brown or whomever who just had the presence of mind. When I was a kid, I used to be a ball boy for Canyon High School in Anaheim Hills, California. And we were playing Orange on a Halloween night. And their players were so soft. Like, that's like, you could tell. Like, even as a young adolescent. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. Canyon had this player named Randy Nunez, who was the best player in the Century League at the time. And they go for the desperation heap, like, not like they were at their own like 30-yard line. They're 30 yards away. Like, the ball is being thrown to the other 30. And Randy Nunez, for whatever reason, comes out of his way and like deflects it up, and it goes over his head and into the arms of an Orange Panther who probably never played football beyond this season, and ran it into the end zone. And like the stands at Fred Kelly Stadium Like they just empty. Everybody runs on the field. And that's kind of what it is. And it's like, I've seen this before. Maybe I'm the grizzled veteran who's seen this way too many times. I'm not even worried about it. Like I'm feel like, again, it sucks. I would love to be 5-2. What are we really upset about? I think that of the things that we look at, we need to start faster. Like I cannot. We did actually avoid a 3-and-out on the second drive of the game, which is a goddamn miracle at this point. Because it really is. Like it's so like it never happens anymore. We got to get points on the board earlier. And to me, when the Bears got knocked out of field goal range, was it at the end of the second half? That was bad, and like some other plays were bad, and you're just like, there are things that built up that the Roschon Johnson touchdown should have put the game away. Like should have put the game away. When they went for 2, like we should have been going for 2 to put it away. That's the most disappointing thing to me. So it's not the end of the game. I think that but again, this is a young team that's coming together. The offensive line issues started. I would say this too, that the offensive line issues started to show themselves. By the way, Tevin Jenkins played like a maniac, and he was awesome. And he is one of my favorite players. I think I'm going to go out there and get some extra editions of Tevin Jenkins trading cards, which, by the way, at Windy City Sports Cards, they specialize in all things related to Chicago sports. So whether you are a fan of the Bulls, Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox, Sky, who am I missing of the Chicago sports? Whether you're a fan of those teams or not, they've got you covered. And if you are a fan of players outside of those teams, like let's say you're a Caitlin Clark fan, Windy City Sports Cards has you covered for all your sports card needs. And we appreciate Mike and everything that he does. He's been fantastic for us. And I'm going to be giving some cards to the boys here. Next weekend when I see them, I'll see Tyler Scott here in a couple of days. I'm curious to see his thoughts on everything that went down. Gosh, it was crazy. You know what's funny too is I always wonder about what are the odds? What are the odds of a play like that happening? I'm curious of what somebody like Circa Sports had as the odds of a touchdown happening on that final play of the game. And speaking of which, the world's largest sports book is available in Illinois right now. That's right. The Circa Sports app is available to you, to everybody in Illinois right now. The greatest sports book in all of Las Vegas. The best customer service, the best down-to-earth people, the best people that you would just want to hang out with on a daily basis, like people who are your friends. That is the Circa Sports app. And you know what? They have the best money line splits. They have the best odds. They have everything that you need to enjoy sports to the fullest. Download the Circa Sports app right now. Go to circasports.com. It's available anywhere in Illinois that allows you to just get a little action on the game. Your new bookie is available in Illinois, and you should take advantage of it. And by the way, if you or someone you know has a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILL GAMBLE to 334-232. Again, the Circa Sports app, sports betting the way it should be. And so for me, I'm going to go out. Listen, I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a good evening. It's still early here on the West Coast. I will let you know that I will be on CHGO After Dark on Monday. I can't imagine what Braggs is going through right now. He won't even return my text. We'll probably be on with Corey Wooten. And then later this week, we'll have the Tyler Scott Show. We'll have Take It to the Rank on Wednesday. And, of course, the Sick Picks over the weekend. I will be in Arizona for the Bears and Cardinals, the battle of the Chicago rivals, which should be a lot of fun. And anybody who's on the fence, especially anybody who lives here in Southern California, I can tell you, you know what? Hold on. Let me find this real quick. Because I know Sean watches all the time. And we appreciate Sean. By the way, I know that there's a lot of people who are now, they saw the videos that I have on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. And they're like, hey, thanks, Rank. Like, we appreciate your level. Like, don't be bummed. Oh, crap. I can't pull up my app right now. Anyways, whatever the earliest flight out of Long Beach to Arizona is, book your flight on that. And then we will go out together. It's like a 7:03 flight. So make sure you're on that. It'll be fun. It'll be a bunch of Bears fans. We're going to come back from this. We're going to beat the Cardinals next week, and it's going to be fun. Then we're going to beat the Patriots. And then we're going to go into that game against the Packers, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It would have been fucking great to be like on a 12-game winning or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's over now. We're fine. Okay? We proved that our guy is better. We're good. Our team is better. Don't be pissed. It's upsetting. I understand. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Better days are going to happen. We're going to win next week at Arizona. We're fine. Everybody chill the F out. It's all good. So there you go. Anyways, want to thank all of you for joining us after the show, per usual. Appreciate Sammy and everybody for putting this together. We will see you Monday night, CHGO After Dark, and of course with the Tyler Scott Show. Take it to the rank. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. We're fine. It's no big deal. Let's go. Bear down. Sammy, go ahead and play us out.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcast. Brought to you by Circa Sports Illinois.